Hello everyone, Luca Blight back here, and already we're messing up. So I am not reacting with a group today. I will be doing a second video where we have a discussion though. Just the last two videos, audio problems. The video quality of the first one was fucking god-awful because I'm shitty at editing things. But so far, I have enjoyed Volume 6 despite having to rewatch the episodes after my initial reaction, so... another issue with that is everybody talking over, and I don't want to police people and stuff like that. So what I'm just going to do going forward is do my reaction, then I'll upload a discussion video. I will not include footage for this discussion video. There's really no point in me uploading it twice, especially considering all the copyright fiasco nonsense that all the reactors and whatnot have to go through. Yeah, so again, Rooster Teeth, Miles and Carrie, Rooster Teeth, yeah. I've been enjoying Volume 6 so far. These first two episodes have been really good, and this one is a whopping 26 minutes long. I'm hoping we get information. That's what I'm hoping for. They don't leave us on a cliffhanger like they did with episode 2. I'm not dinging them for the cliffhangers, but I would prefer we not have the freaking cliffhanger span that we had in Volume 5. Actually, there's a lot of things in Volume 5 I hope we don't have. Unicorn of War, I guess quick shout out to Unicorn of War, uploaded a video talking about that, and I was like, yeah, Volume 5 of RWBY is kind of like The Walking Dead Season 2, where it's bland, boring, but with a few good moments. Because there were some good moments in The Walking Dead Season 2, but overall the season was horrible. Granted, I think I would rather watch Volume 5 than Season 2 of The Walking Dead, only because Volume 5 is shorter than The Walking Dead Season 2. Alright, so anyways, with that said, hopefully I can press play. Alright, sweet. Let's get the show on the road. And this intro, I'm already liking it. The people have said the scenes are kind of like chopped up together. I agree, but otherwise, I do like it. Better than 4's, but not as good as 5's. That's the one thing I will say about 5, and I will praise it to the moon, is that Volume 5's intro was great. Got my crow cup. Where's the symbol? The symbol. You can kind of not see it considering I'm drinking root beer with whiskey. Like I'm not drinking heavily. This is my first drink of the day. I'm just doing it for this episode / reaction. It really begs the question how Adam's gonna fit into everything. Whee! That face. And if it's too translucent, I apologize, but I'm trying to do my best to avoid the copyright bot. Which, doing it this way, it's been mixed. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But even then, I think what Rooster Teeth's doing with the copyright now is you just file a dispute, give them your spiel, and then they remove the block, but they keep the monetization on, which I'm like, yes, keep doing that. I don't care, just don't block the video. That's all I ask. Alright, what do we got today? Smoke.
Locked away by her cruel father, Salem was a girl who desired but one thing.
Lots of girls with daddy issues in this show. Except for Blake and Ruby and Yang.
And their kingdoms were plentiful, when men and women were capable of greatness, and magic was a gift from the gods that all could wield. And yet there she sat.
Okay, so those aren't the relics. I thought they were, and she was somehow connected to them.
Until one day, a legendary hero came to brave the
Osmond?
challenges.
Oh yeah, there's one of Osmond's past lives. What's up, Crow?
The people of the lands knew him as Ozma.
Ozma.
Unlike those who had come before, this warrior was not driven by the prize of the young maiden's hand. He fought only for righteousness.
Righteousness.
His pure heart and courageous soul prevailed.
Okay, so him and Salem were definitely lovers. I'm not dissing him on that. I just
escaped the wretched.
I'm kinda I don't know, maybe they'll make it interesting.
Something bound them together.
Love. Magic.
Ozma had been ready to give his life for justice countless times, but now saw a woman worth saving it for. And Salem, to her surprise, found her freedom not in the outside world she had yearned for, but in the eyes of the man that had saved her.
So, where should we go now?
Wherever you'd like.
Let's go to
The two
Kansas.
fell deeply in love, planned adventures around the world, and lived happily ever after.
The end. That's the end of the volume, folks. All right. Good job, Rooster
Or at
Teeth. I'm
least,
just joking.
That's what should have been.
Yeah, there's always a but.
Ozma, the infallible hero of legend, fell ill. And where all of the beasts and blades of the world had fallen short, a single sickness prevailed.
So I'm wondering if she cheats and then the gods like curse her or something. Well, no, because the gods curse the
How could
husband.
the gods let this happen?
The gods.
Gods are typically
brothers
dicks.
of
I mean,
light and
that's a
dark,
gimme.
Creation and destruction. Salem prayed they would see the injustice that had befallen her.
Okay,
love.
so this confirms that the
Things
two
right.
brother gods are legit and real.
The
mean, Osmond wasn't
domain
lying
of
about
light was a sacred place.
Check one for Osmond telling the truth for a change. Actually, he didn't even tell him that it was Crow that told him. But he told
It
Crow,
was
so...
here the elder brother dwelled beside his fountain of life and creation.
Sorry that I'm shaking. It's actually really cold in here.
It was here
That and I don't want to spill
where
this.
mankind would fall to ruin.
Oh, this is where she becomes Evil McNeevil. So I'm guessing that's the Cain before it became the Cain. Maybe, I don't know. Was he a deer? Oh, you must be the god of light. Okay. We're meeting gods today, apparently.
Please. Please bring him back to me.
You have to gather the Dragon Ball,
I
Salem.
understand your pain, but you demand of me that which I cannot make so.
You're the god of creation. How can you...
Life and death are part of a delicate balance.
Oh, laws. Okay.
So,
Maybe the god of light's not a dick.
you won't do it then?
To disrupt the cycle of
But that's not fair. That's not fair!
I don't know how smart it is to yell at a
let
god.
him rest.
Yeah, he didn't like that. Get the fuck out of my lawn. I kind of feel bad for Salem, but yeah, she is, I guess, being a little greedy.
No.
Like, she selfishly covets him.
The god of darkness.
Oh, so that, okay. So she dwells in the land of darkness
None
or whatever.
dared to enter his home, as men knew what monstrosities emerged from his black.
So she is in another dimension or whatever.
And so you must understand the Dark Lord's surprise.
Dark
when he found
Lord.
a lone woman
The Dark
kneeling
Lord
before
Sauron.
him.
Alright, what's this guy? Oh. Oh. Alright.
Salem understood it well. She told him
so
of her loss.
this
and
is where she got-
professed that she knew only he could answer her prayers. All while
Make me
careful
think
to
of the
make no
Nuckalave from
mention
Volume
of his
4.
elder.
Rise, child,
Wow, he actually looks like Satan.
and let your faith in me be rewarded.
Oh. Wait, hold on. How can a god of He's a god of destruction, so...
What is this? Where am I?
I mean, he's a god. It defies all logic
It's
anyways.
going to be okay.
I'm not trying to nitpick or chase the plot hole. I'm just trying to figure out, like... Oh, the god of light's
What
pissed.
have you done?
I have
She ca-
done what I please, brother. You may bask in the powers of creation, but you do not own them.
This is not creation.
Do not lecture me.
Uh-oh.
I will do what I must to maintain order.
Oh, gonna kill him again, I'm guessing. Yep.
No! No! What did you do? Bring him back!
You dare enter my domain and show such disrespect!
You don't fuck... Well, I was gonna say you don't fuck with a god, but...
By the rules we agreed upon.
Rules that I now see were...
But, you know, it's a god picking at
And
another...
yet if a mortal comes to pray at my
Oh, can he
feet before your
turn into an uber demon?
You arrive to lay your judgment upon me.
Oh no, he can turn into a dragon. Okay. So he's Maleficent. Ooh.
I know we have
Shenron!
differences, but I have not come here with the aim to control you.
Okay,
The same, however, cannot be said for her. This woman came to you only after I denied her pleas. Pleas
No.
that would have disrupted the balance that you and I created.
Got thrown under the bus.
Then it seems I owe you an apology.
Wow.
Allow me to correct my mistake.
God, poor Osmond. I mean, the dude's been, like, brought back and killed, like, what, 3 times in the span of 2 minutes?
Monsters! Give him back to me! Give him back!
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, don't tell me Salem's able to, like, take on the gods, because that would just be silly. Ow. You jump high enough, man. Smacking water, that will hurt.
When you first came to me, I did pity you. But it is clear now that your selfishness and arrogance have led you astray.
I wouldn't say she's
What
arrogant.
did you do to me?
Selfish, yeah.
I have made you immortal.
Immortal?
You cannot die. You cannot be with your beloved.
Ah.
So long as this world turns, you shall walk its face.
Wow.
You must learn the importance of life and death.
Okay, that's a
Only
fair...
then may you rest.
That's a creative and fair punishment if you put it all together. She wants...
Salem was a prisoner once again. Her fruitless attempts to reunite with Ozma eventually became nothing more than acts of spite and defiance against the gods.
Oh, jeez. That's dark.
But perhaps the gods were not as powerful as they seemed.
Hmm?
She had lied to them, turned them against one another. They were fallible. If she
Okay.
were to turn humanity against light and darkness, she could rid herself of their curse. Or at the very least, she could make them suffer.
Poor Ruby.
Salem traveled from
But you're
one
not-
kingdom to another, telling tales of how she stole immortality from the gods, welcomed any swordsman to cut her down.
Okay, she's
and
kind of like Loki
demonstrated
at this
her
point.
power.
She's just playing people
With
against
the
each
kings
other.
and queens in awe, she pulled them deeper into her scheme. She painted them pictures of a time when they would no longer have to watch their loved ones wither and die, when they could claim the powers of their creators for themselves, and in turn perfect their own design.
Okay, suddenly Salem is like the most interesting villain all of a sudden.
All they needed to do was destroy their old masters. The gods had hoped that Salem would learn from her eternal curse.
Oh, she did.
And she did.
Yeah, I was gonna say she did.
She learned that the hearts of men are easily swayed.
Men are naturally greedy. They crave power.
Who has led you down this path?
Dun dun dun, it was Salem. What? This is gonna do a fucking thing, I bet. Yeah.
My own gift to them. Used against me.
Oh, you done goofed. Yeah. Okay, nuclear launch detected. Like, okay, GDI, calm down with the ion cannon there, bud. So I'm guessing that killed everybody. Well, at least them.
You thought there was no greater punishment we could bestow upon you?
I'll come back. I'll tell the rest of the world of this massacre. Build a new army.
You do not understand.
Stalin tactics.
There is no one left,
Okay, so they wiped everybody out.
or all that remains of humanity.
So now she's alone forever. Damn.
This planet was a beautiful experiment, but it is merely a remnant of what it once was.
Remnant. Ah.
We will learn from this failure. I hope that you will learn from yours.
No, you can't leave. You can't leave. Come back.
powers of your creators.
Huh. Ah! So that's what happened to the moon. Got a destruction, it's just like, boink, gonna blow it up for no reason. But there's like, Salem's kind of
Once again,
the cause of her own misery.
Salem was alone.
But at the same time, the gods are being dicks. Just because of how,
The gods.
like that, they could
Curse
just
the
wipe out
universe.
humanity, just be like, it was an experiment,
cursed
let's move on.
Everything but herself. She wandered the face of the planet, awaiting a death that would never come.
It's literally just one big
Until
tragedy,
fate led
honestly.
her back to the land of darkness.
Like, there's
This was it.
nobody's in the right, nobody's fully in the
The
wrong.
Brothers Grimm, the pools of black that continued to give rise to horrific nightmares. If the Fountain of Life granted her immortality, then surely the pools of Grimm would finally take it away. She was wrong. This force of pure destruction could not destroy a being of infinite life.
So it just keeps...
Instead, it created a being of infinite life with a desire for pure destruction. And in time, she would find her adversary.
How did they bring humanity back then, if the gods just destroyed it and left? Well, God of Destruction, more specifically, the God of the Light's like, yeah, it was an experiment. We're just gonna move on, do our own thing. I'm really into this, by the way. I know I keep talking over some of it, but
Ozma.
Where am I?
We are between realms. I'm afraid a tragedy has befallen your home at the hands of my brother. We have chosen to depart this world, but in our absence, I would like to offer you the chance to return to it.
I don't understand.
Mankind is no more, yet your world remains, and in time, your kind will grow to walk its face once again. However, without our presence, they will be but a fraction of what they once were. Creation, destruction, choice, and knowledge were the ideals upon which humanity was made. Now, I leave them behind with the hope that you may learn to remake yourselves.
we got a crown, like two
If brought
swords,
together,
and then of course
these
the
four
lantern.
relics will summon my brother and I back to your world, and humanity will be judged. If your kind has learned to live in harmony with one another and set aside their differences, then we shall once again live among you, and humanity will be made whole again.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's kind of a ridiculous
If your kind
task.
is unchanged. If you demand our blessings while still fighting amongst yourselves, then man will be found irredeemable, and your world will be wiped from existence.
I'm gonna have a
Until your
nice
task
long
is
discussion
complete,
about how that's hypocritical of
You
them.
will reincarnate, but in a manner that ensures you are never alone.
I'm sorry, but that world just isn't as dear to me without her.
Boy, have you been matched for some
I'd
shit.
rather return to the afterlife to see Salem.
You will not find her there.
You mean she isn't gone?
Salem lives, but the woman you hold dear in your memories is gone. Heed this warning. Where you seek comfort, you will only find pain. So, will you...
I'll do it.
Just like that.
Very well. Our creation rests within your hands.
Gotta insult the injury that they would choose Ozma, even though Ozma is like this
And so,
pure beacon of light and
Ozma was
whatnot.
reborn.
Oh wow, hell of a place to just plop him. Or is that him?
Where am I?
Oh, okay, yeah, it is. Wait, so if they wiped humanity out, or did they just
Thank you.
put them back the
Tell me
instant,
your name.
or from the
Who are
instant they were destroyed? Or he sent them back in time? Well, no, it wouldn't be back in time.
He didn't know.
Ozma had found himself in a world completely unfamiliar to him. Cities.
I'm a little confused
Creatures
there.
known as the Faunus bore fangs and claws and were locked away in cages. And without the blessing of the gods, no one could perform magic like mankind was once capable of. No one but himself.
Unless this
and
is
a woman known as
the witch.
the Witch.
Yeah.
During his years of travel, he heard the same frightened whispers that spoke of a terrifying sorceress who commanded dark powers in the wilds among the beasts and monsters.
I'm gonna go kill it.
Ozma was convinced that this witch was Salem,
Hmm.
and decided he needed to see what she had become.
She became an albino with red eyes.
Call it magic or call it something stronger, but in
No.
that moment, the
Or
two
cheese.
knew exactly who it was that stood before
Cheesy
them.
love or lovey cheese.
What do we do now?
Whatever we like.
So,
As
so
Salem and Ozma recounted the events which had brought them back together, each withheld parts of their story. Salem, fearing Ozma would reject her, blamed the end of the world on the gods. Ozma, still unsure of where the truth lay, kept his task and the relics a secret. Though time passed and all seemed well, Ozma's conversation with the god of light still lingered in his mind.
okay, so they
He
kept
had
shit
found
hidden from each
happiness,
other.
But humanity seemed more divided than ever before.
Are you surprised? This world is quite literally godless. These humans have no one to guide them. Perhaps that's all they need.
What a mundane scenery for like
say?
two basically godlike
We could
beings.
become the gods of this world. Our powers surpass all others. Our souls transcend death.
Two
We
gods in a
can
cabin,
mold these
essentially.
lands into whatever we want, what you want. Create the paradise that the old gods could not.
The hearts of men are easily swayed.
Okay, so basically we're gonna become the new gods. Ah! Poor thing. It looked like he was striking a pose. Okay, so now it's obvious who the in the trailer, the figure that's like floating and all the people bow down. That was Ozpin. I was hoping it was Watts. I think it was Tom Haran that was hoping it was Watts. Either Tom or Raymond, I forget which one.
A prosperous kingdom, and at the head of that kingdom blossomed a family.
Four maidens? Oh, so okay, maybe. So maybe the kids, since so the kids are by proxy immortal, just like Ozpin. Then I'm guessing, and they became the maidens.
Sure this is
that
right.
makes sense.
You said we needed to bring humanity together. In order to do that,
And the
we
fairy
need to
tale was
spread
concocted
our
to mask
word
that. Okay,
and destroy
this
those
is my
who
theory I'm
deny
running with.
it.
What are we doing?
Jesus. All right, so he's starting to
This isn't what
question.
he asked of me.
What did you say?
Mother! Father! Look!
It was a miracle. Their children could perform magic.
Yeah, okay,
It would
I'm
have been a joyous occasion.
I'm almost certain that all
Was
four of them
short-lived.
became the maidens.
Ozma told Salem everything. The true reason the god of light had brought him back, the relics that lay scattered around the world, and the day of judgment he had been told to prepare for.
Don't you see? None of that matters anymore. Why spend our lives trying to redeem these humans when we can replace them with what they could never be?
I mean, yeah, talk about like a severe fall from grace.
Mommy?
Oh, was he? I think he was trying to run away with the 4 of them. God, this has been one just gargantuan fucking tragedy. Okay, that looks a little Harry Pottery. Ospen, the boy who lived. And that kind of looks like Hogwarts. Not that I'm saying they're ripping it off, it's just, it's kind of bringing memories back. And the Grim are like, hey, what's going on over here? Okay, that frame rate was a little wonky.
We finally had freedom.
Shit.
Thus began a long and painful cycle of death and rebirth for Ozma.
I actually feel bad for Ospen now.
Some lives were spent in mourning. Many were spent attempting to forget it all. But no matter what, his mind would eventually turn back to the task he had been burdened.
Like him and Salem are just both tragic
and
fucking
as the
figures.
centuries went on, Ozma began to learn the importance of living with the souls with which he had been filled.
That's such a, like,
But no matter when
such
or
a generic
how he
design
lived,
for a
her
dude.
presence was always felt. If humanity were ever to stand a chance of being united, one thing was clear.
He had to destroy Salem.
Knowing he could never rid the world of her through any mortal means, Ozma sought out the power of the relics. Armed with my knowledge, he believed he could fulfill his promise to the god of light.
Oh man, that dude's hair and mustache. I'm a proper English gentleman.
Where are the other relics?
You know, I sound like Sean
He
Connery there
asked
for a
me
second.
his questions,
What powers do they possess?
and though I gave him my answers,
How do I destroy Salem?
not
Whoa.
all of them were to his liking. You can't.
Ow! Damn. Wow. Man, like I said, the gods in this show are fucking dicks. They gave him the impossible task. I'm assuming that's it. Yeah. Well, okay, okay. So, that was a big exposition dump and then some, but unlike Volume 5, it was all new information. So let's start from the beginning. So Ozpin and Salem were lovers. And Ozpin got sick and died. Salem went to the gods, was like, I want him back. You know, it's not fair that, you know, I finally have something worth living for, only just to have it taken away from me. And the gods are trying to impart, or the god of light anyways, trying to impart the lesson of like, hey, life and death's a cycle. I do feel for you, but it's a very fragile cycle that we cannot violate because it goes against the laws and rules that me and my brother established. And she just ain't having it. So she goes to the god of darkness and is like, hey, can I have my, you know, my husbando back? And he's just like, yeah, sure, whatever, have fun. And then, you know, of course, she omitted the fact that she went to the god of light first, which I'm trying to think of. Okay, yeah, because the brothers hate each other, so okay. And yeah, it's kind of like asking dad for permission to go do something. He says no, so you go ask mom, and you omit the fact that you didn't tell dad. So that's kind of what she pulled with Oz, or yeah, with trying to get Ozpin back, or Ozma back. Ozma, same guy. Which makes the question why he changed his name from Ozma to Ozpin. And so, you know, they do the thing where they bring him back and kill him, they bring him back. It's like, oh, poor dude. And then they wipe out humanity once she like turns humanity against them, and then they leave and all that jazz. But yeah, you could just see like Salem's like gradual descent into like darkness. It started off as like her pain became greed, and that greed just became, you know, stronger and stronger as time went on. And the more the gods defied her, the more she was just like, fuck this, you know, I'm gonna get you guys back. And so she kept like, she made her situation worse the more she went on and did these things. And then, you know, Ozpin is eventually like chosen to be the guy to, you know, hit the reset button on humanity. Like the god light's like, all right, let's give humanity another shot. If so what you have to do is basically unite them together, have them live together prosperously. Otherwise, we're going to just destroy the earth and just call it a day. Which shows just how, like, I don't want to say amoral the gods are, but you know, they look down on. It seems like they look at humanity as just like insects. I mean, essentially, that's what humanity is to these gods, because you know they can create and destroy just like that. And we saw that in this show, especially with the God of Destruction. He just wiped out humanity with just a little. Basically pulled a Thanos. Well, Thanos wiped out half the existence, and he wiped out all the humanity. But yeah, I mean, another thing that I liked about this is that you could understand the perspective of both the gods, Salem and Ozpin, because nobody was completely in the wrong, but nobody was completely in the right. Salem started off like, from an understandable, relatable position, and she just gradually went down this path of insanity, or not insanity, but obsession with bringing Ozpin back and just basically defying the laws of nature, essentially, and destroying, the very essence of what it is to live. Because if you're, okay, so she was made immortal as punishment, but in general, like, she wants Ozpin back. And so, that whole shindig. What else is there to cover? Okay, so yeah, when they betrayed each other, I'm assuming Ozpin was trying to flee with his 4 children because he was hoping to convince Salem, like, hey, help me do this. And Salem was like, no, fuck them. Like, we're here. They're gone. I don't even think that they're going to go through with their thing. And then, Ozpin's like, all right, I'm going to get my 4 soon-to-be maidens or future maidens or whatever, and we're going to, bounce out of here. And Salem's like, oh, you traitorous, or you, what's the word? Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't work. Never mind, because he's not leaving the kids with her. I was going to say dead be dead, but no, he was trying to get the 4 girls out of there. And I'm assuming Salem killed the 4 of them, but because of, immortality, they all eventually came back. And then, Ozpin was just cursed with this, thing where he dies, he comes back, he dies, he comes back. And so he's essentially just kind of fucked because he can't destroy Salem. Well, yeah, he can't destroy Salem, so he has to somehow. How do you even convince Salem to like turn around? Because she's basically a product of the Grimm, which are, they crave destruction. They are nothing but that. So it's like, good luck convincing Salem of that. All right, and I'm trying to think of some other things, but I'll probably come up with more in the discussion that I'm going to have later on. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts out right now. This is kind of my initial thing, but yeah, overall episode was great. I liked this episode. I'm glad we got some answers. They've made Salem more interesting. Ozpin is definitely probably the most complex character in the show right now. Not too big on the gods' designs. They were kind of I did like the weird motions the God of Darkness did when we first see him, but otherwise, yeah, I wasn't really jiving with the designs on them. But if they're not going to be around for much, then yeah, there's no point in like investing uber amounts of time in designing them. But it worked, it functioned. It wasn't that great to me. Or I should say great. It wasn't that good. I'm not trying to be like it has to be great or it's no good at all. No, I'm not pulling any of that. I guess I have too many thoughts going on in my head right now because it's like, oh, we got so many answers, but I have so many fucking questions right now. I don't know what to do with myself. So yeah, I'll probably save the majority of that for the discussion video I'm going to be doing here in probably about 2-ish hours. I might include, I might include like a reaction timer. That way you can watch it along with them, but I don't know yet. I does not know. But yeah, so RWBY Volume 6 is now 3-0 for me. 3 really good episodes. This is definitely a step up from Volume 5. It's almost got, I want to say Volume 4 structure, but again, this episode, it wasn't really them getting closer to Atlas. It was more of like the backstory of Salem and Ozpin and just one big info dump. But it was done in such a way that it was a compelling story in of itself. So I wasn't at any point in this episode just like, okay, whatever. Like with Volume 5, for example, all the dialogue, it was just, especially was it episode 9 where Cinder and Raven had their back and forth for like 9 minutes. I was bored to tears with that crap. This, I was like, okay, what happened next? What happens next? Oh my God, you're giving it all to me. Like, slow down. Let me process this. But yeah, I'm glad Salem now has some actual depth to her. We have an understanding of her. She actually feels like a rounded character with depth as opposed to just the shallow, I'm evil, I make schemes, I manipulate people, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, we now understand why Ozpin is so mistrusting because the person he loved the most essentially turned into basically Satan. But not in a way of her own machinations, but also, you know, out of, like, it was basically purity that was turned in, like, that was corrupted by greed, essentially. And it's not to say, you know, Salem was an inherently bad person with ill will. It's just that feeling of loss just got to her, and it turned her into what she is. And she, you know, was like, Ozpin's gone, humanity's gone, I've got nothing, I might as well just jump into this pool of like darkness and shit. And well, yeah, that, you know, that thing happened. So Salem, for all intents and purposes, is completely indestructible. Like, even if you wipe her out physically, she just comes right back, as we saw in the episode, because, you know, that fight between her and Ozpin, she, I guess, was wiped out, but then she immediately reformed and, you know, just fucking, like, blew Ozpin's head off with a freaking fire wave. So, okay, so we also know Salem's powers. She has control over the Grimm, and she also can wield magic. So she can do the things that, like, the maidens can do and use elements and whatnot. Which I still think it's kind of lazy that the maidens can do all of the elements as opposed to having, you know, their own unique powers. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, great episode. Trying to think, is there anything else I want to get out the way before I end this video? And I guess I'm just gonna have to rewatch it a couple of times, take some notes, and then I'll have all that ready to go for the discussion. That way I can get some other ideas and theories out. And if there's any plot holes that may or may not have occurred there, I want to say I don't want to say that there's a couple, but I think I would need to rewatch. I don't know. I guess what it would have to be is that I would have to rewatch, start from volume 4 and work my way up. Actually, no, volume 3 and work my way up, because volumes 1 and 2 don't really have anything of what's going on right now in them. Actually, more specifically, I would just have to watch the. Okay, yeah. Now I'm thinking about. All right, now I'm remembering. Okay, so the 4 girls that visited the wizard, who we presume is Ozpin, because he gave the maidens their powers. I'm wondering if that story was concocted. Because I said that they made that story up to mask the truth. Like, a lot of these myths and legends and stuff are just masks of what really happened. They're kind of twisted and shaped in a way that people won't recognize it from reality. So it's like they came up with the story of these 4 maidens. They visited the old wizard gave them power, and da-da-da. So that's probably something he told his lieutenants, so that they could be like, okay, so that's how the maidens exist, as opposed to saying, yeah, me and Salem, we did the dirty and we had 4 kids, and they're kind of immortal too. So yeah, I mean, it's not it. So, and then Ozpin's mistrust of just everybody stems from his repeated life cycles, his inability to destroy Salem, and the fact that Salem went from the woman he loved to now the woman he must destroy, and stuff like that. And then he's also fearful that, like, I can't fulfill my goal because I can't bring humanity together so long as Salem exists, and I can't destroy Salem. So therefore, the gods have kind of fucked me right now. The gods are kind of I don't want to say they're the villains, but they're, I don't know. Again, like I said, it's kind of nuanced here. Like, nobody's completely in the wrong, nobody's completely in the right. And I can't fault the gods for looking at humanity the way that they do, because they are transcendent of everything. It's like, who knew that trying to fuck with gods gets you somewhere? I mean, look at Bloodborne. Look at how that worked out for them. Look at any Call of Cthulhu or any, like, H.P. Lovecraft myth. Anytime you try to find the answers you're looking for, you're driven to insanity and the whole world gets fucked. So, lesson today, kids. Do not try to directly interact with gods, because bad things happen. All right, so I think I've got everything out the way. I'm going to rewatch this video, see if there's any tweaks or edits I need to make, and go from there. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'll need to do too terribly much, considering it's just, you know, me watching a video and then talking. So I think I should be all right for this one. But anyway, folks, yeah, I shall see you all for whatever video / reaction I do next. Good day.